just like to welcome our new board member officially to reach out to the city. I guess, Rudy, you know everybody here, I assume? Or?
I will very soon. I mean, you know, we introduced ourselves. So.
Good. Just welcome and glad to have you aboard. So.
Thank you.
So we're going to change the agenda around just a little bit to take the item 2014-2-3, Frederick Carroll revised MOU wheel grader contract amendment. So I will take a motion to approve this item.
So moved, unless Steve refer.
Second. Okay, discussion. Chris?
So simply, we're bringing to the board seeking authorization to approve a revised MOU and a wheel grader contract amendment that will allow Carroll County to be released from the project and allow the project to move forward at the will of Frederick County.
Both counties are in support of that. So. Discussion?
Well, we're pleased that Carol and Frederick have come to an accommodation on this, and I think it was acceptable to both as well as the authority. We're pleased that we're able to bring this to the board tonight and hopefully have a positive decision and resolution to it.
This is in no way a reflection on the project itself, but rather Carol's desire to back out at this point.
Any further questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay. Go back to the beginning of the budget amendment, the agenda. The first item is 2014-2-1, amendment number 3 to fiscal year 2014 budget. I'll take a motion to approve this item.
I'll move.
Second?
Second.
Okay, discussion, Chris?
Simply have four budget amendments. The first is to reflect, for Anne Arundel County Landfill Gas Energy, to reflect the increased revenues that we've seen this year. We need to account for that on our budget appropriately. Also, for the Anne Arundel Export Project, we need to properly account for tonnage that Anne Arundel is accepting from the city of Annapolis. So that's going to reflect some additional costs that we didn't have in our budget. Seeking approval to add a $25,000 to Baltimore County's general account to enable us to do a recycling participation study for them, and to establish a new account for Montgomery County for e-cycling to help pay for their e-cycling.
Questions, comments?
Anne Arundel supports the two items that relate to our budget, our revenue streams.
Anyone else? All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. The next item is 2014-2-4, Baltimore City Wheel Grader Agreement. I'll take a motion to approve this item.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion, Chris?
So we're seeking board approval on a settlement agreement, and then also the ability for the executive director to sign any cleanup contract changes that may result from the settlement agreement. Baltimore City and Wheel Grader have been in a dispute over several items as detailed in your board package, and I believe the city is supportive of this amendment.
City is in some support.
Any other questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay, the next item is discussion items.
Actually, we missed the award of the audit contract.
Sorry, excuse me. 2014-2-2, Board of Auditing Contract. I'll take a motion to approve this item.
So moved.
Okay, discussion.
It's time for us to renew our auditing contract. We went out on procurement and solicited bids or proposals from 4 accounting firms that are used by our member jurisdictions. We did receive only one proposal. That was from Clifton Larson Allen. They're actually our current auditor, and their proposal was actually came in at a decreased price from last year. We've been happy with their service. They knew our member jurisdictions, so we're requesting that we sign a new 5-year contract with them. As again detailed, the amounts are detailed in your handout, with also an additional $10,000 contingency amount should other items arise.
Any questions, comments?
I'm just curious, how much less expensive was it?
It's about 12% less, so it's
So
about
even with the
$6,000.
3% escalator per year, we'll just be back where we
We'll
were.
be back to where we were, so it's an overall savings.
Okay.
Further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay, next item is discussion items. 2014-2-D.1, project update.
Project update. So just wanted to highlight that the Montgomery County Resource Recovery Facility earned a Clean Air Excellence Award from the EPA because of their installation of their low NOx system. They actually installed it a few years back. EPA is just recognizing them now. It results in about a 400 to 500 ton per year decrease in the amount of NOx emissions. They were given the award on April 2nd, and also we just recently received a letter from Senator Cardin congratulating us on that achievement. And of note, Senator Cardin's on the Committee for the Environment and Public Works, so he sees these types of things on a regular basis. Also like to report that we executed a one-year extension of the Carroll County contract for transfer and disposal. Allows us to move forward, continuing that contract, working in partnership with the county to keep their options open. Regarding the Frederick Waste Energy Facility, as you know, the permits were issued. The challenge period has ended on that, and the only permit we've been challenged on is the NPDS permit. We anticipate that we will be successful and that permit will be upheld. We're looking about a 6 to 8 month period for that challenge to happen. And also just wanted to report that our organics RFP did hit the street. We've had a lot of interest in it. We've also had requests for extensions on the time period for that, so we're weighing those options, what to do moving forward, especially in light of MDEs changing or discussions that they may change the regulations.
Has MDE said anything about when they might have regulations out?
I was told today was the end of the year by Dexter.
And when are our bids due?
They're due May 2nd, but we're looking at potentially extending because we've already had a couple of requests to extend, partly based on the MDE issue with the regs, but also just they're looking for more time to put their proposals
How
in.
much more time are the people asking for?
Right now, they're looking at 2 to 4 weeks.
I'd like to give them till November to tell you the truth. Get it past the elections.
We'll look at extending. I do know that when the proposals come in, we do anticipate there's going to be a evaluation period, lots of questions and answers back and forth to try and figure out what makes sense. That's all I had for projects.
Chris, can I ask a question for clarification? The Montgomery County facilities, very low NOx system, what reagent do they use?
They use a combination of urea injection. It's an ammonia-based product, but it's not. It's a liquid.
They don't use anhydrous ammonia.
They don't use anhydrous.
I didn't think so. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else have any questions about that? Okay, the next item is the 2014-2-D.2 General Assembly Session Update. Chris?
As reported at our last meeting, we've been watching several bills that were down in Annapolis this year. Just wanted to kind of give a little bit of a highlight. Several of the bills that we were watching were defeated. One of particular interest was the Solid Waste Task Force bill, which was looking at studying how much the state requirements for recycling and landfill disposal. That did not pass through the Senate side. There was a statewide container recycling refund program, otherwise known as the bottle bill. This was its second year being introduced, and it also did not pass out of the Senate committee. And then a couple other bills. There was one to look at adding cumulative impact assessments around major facilities that had air permits, refuse disposal permits, and some water permits. Really trying to have MDE look at cumulative impacts. That bill, well, first it did not pass, but it was also heavily amended at one point to just limit the scope to a very limited section of Prince George's County. So it seems like it was focusing on a specific facility, not the statewide. So that bill was defeated. And I think the last one of note that was defeated was there was a bill to look at limiting where a waste energy facility could be sited in the state of Maryland. The siting restrictions would have made it fairly impossible to site anything in Maryland, and that did not even make it out of committee. A couple of bills that passed that were of interest. There's a recycling bill for special events, and we've reached out to the county coordinators on this, and that they're very well aware. The counties will, assuming Governor signs the bill, will have to address special event recycling in their plans. So it means another 10-year plan revision. And it's basically, if I remember right, events that have over 200 people or 250 people must provide for recycling containers next to all trash containers. Gives the option to the counties for enforcement.
Didn't come with any enforcement, it gave the option.
It gave the option for the counties to enforce, right? So it's really going to be up to the counties on how they adopt it into their plan.
The first 4 bills you mentioned that were defeated, do you recall what MD's position was, any of those?
So the one about citing the waste energy facilities, they were opposed to that. Trying to remember the statewide, the container, the bottle bill, Andrew, I think they were opposed to that if I remember correctly. The solid waste task force bill, they were in support of that with certain amendments. Those amendments actually were incorporated in, I think, which is what helped it get past the House side, but then it died in the Senate side.
Cumulative impacts?
Hmm?
How about the cumulative environmental?
The cumulative impacts, they were opposed to that. They were concerned about the impact on timing of issuing permits because of the large scope that would have to be pursued by them, as well as staffing. They don't feel they had the staff to accomplish those. Another bill that passed was House Bill 1506. Wacomico County introduced this bill, and it gives them the option of joining the authority should they choose. That would be upon vote by their county council. We don't know where that's going to go over the summer, but we've been in contact with Wacomico County on that one. And the last one I have of interest is a bill that would require, it's House Bill 878, would require the State Highway Administration to develop specifications for use of compost material within their construction projects. So I think they're have to have the specifications completed by the end of this calendar year. So I think that ties back to trying to create a market for the compost that was going to be generated based on the new regulations that MDE put out.
Any other questions for Chris?
Chris, do you recall when the solid waste management plans have to incorporate the special event recycling component?
I think it gives a little over a year. I want to say 2015, I'm not positive on that.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay, next item is routine agenda item. It's the 2014-2-RA1 open meeting compliance. I guess Kathy is the expert on this, so let her.
Just want to report that I took the home on 4% passed the test on the authority's official compliance person.
It's another new regulation that we all have to adhere to. Anyone else have any other items to bring up? Okay, take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.